California Senator Alex Padilla, who sits on the Judiciary and Homeland Security Committees and was just freshly reelected or elected to the Senate. I thank you, Senator, for being with us. How are you?
Good to be back with you, and glad that last Tuesday is now behind us. If you'd allow me a point of personal privilege, just a big thank you to the voters of California for placing their trust in me once again, and especially to Angela and our three boys for their love, their support, and their sacrifice to allow me to continue to serve.
First Latino senator representing the state of California. It's good to see you. I want to just kind of go on this issue of last Tuesday. What do you think, Senator, the message is that voters sent during last week's midterm elections?
I think there was a few messages, starting with what happened before the election. You know, as you and I talked several times over the last several months, I kept repeating, Democrats have a strong story to tell. You know, we've delivered when it came to a better COVID response with the American Rescue Plan. We delivered most recently on the Inflation Reduction Act, the confirmation of federal judges that are rebalancing the federal bench. That was a lot to be proud of, and the voters heard our accomplishments. And I think trusted us to continue to do the work in the Senate side. And I also think the voters sent a message loud and clear. They said no to election deniers in so many states across the country running for so many offices. They also said yes to abortion rights. The response to the extreme decision by the Supreme Court on the Dobbs case made a tremendous impact, which is why you see voters turning out to keep the Senate in Democratic hands and a much smaller margin on the House side than I think a lot of Republicans anticipated.
And certainly if the Republicans do take control of the House, what do you think, Senator, legislatively you're looking at over the next 2 years?
Yeah, that's certainly a big question. Well, the good news is, again, with the Democratic majority on the Senate side, we'll be able to continue the confirmations of administration officials, federal judges, especially. From a policy perspective, I think it depends on which wing of the Republican Party ends up running the House. If it is a more rational and reasonable Republican leadership there, then I think there's things like continuing to invest in infrastructure that is absolutely a possibility. If they're listening to the voters, the way the voters want them to listen, then I think we make progress on codifying reproductive rights into federal law, codifying marriage equality, as we hope to do actually in the lame duck, not wait until the next session we can do that. But if it's going to be the wing of the Republican Party that continues to deny the outcome of elections, continues to deny that climate change is real, and continues to try to strip away our rights, then we've got a fight in our hands. And guess what? We're ready.
And Senator, if there is some possibility of some compromise agreements, immigration, I know it's something you've been focusing on, immigration reform, there's issues like DACA for dreamers. There are issues that have the overwhelming support of the American people. Is that something that you think could possibly be carried out?
Look, I'm always keeping hope alive on that. Look at what just happened in the state of Arizona. So much attention on several races in Arizona, from the Senate to the governor to the Attorney General, Secretary of State, and House races. The people of Arizona, following California's lead and that of a handful of other states, saying undocumented immigrants, dreamers who have grown up in this case, Arizona, should be able to attend college with in-state tuition levels, not out-of-state tuition levels. Support for dreamers is absolutely there, and there's no reason we should not take care of it in this lame duck session. The urgency is there. Too many dreamers living in limbo because of the case that had been brought against the DACA program. If Republicans would tell me behind closed doors they're for dreamers, then let's say it publicly, let's say it loudly, and let's vote accordingly.
So is that something you think that even if it's not carried out in this lame duck, that it's something that maybe you could see going forward past January?
Look, I'm encouraged that we may be able to do this lame duck session. The election is behind us. For those members who might have been scared of, any blowback at the ballot box or, from Trump or anywhere else, they should have the courage to do it now. Dreamers deserve it to be done sooner rather than later. But that's not all the immigration reform that we need. We need to help dreamers. We need to help farm workers, other folks in the food industry. My first bill was to provide a pathway, not automatic, but a pathway to citizenship for all essential workers. So there's a lot to do here, including being smarter about how we handle security at the border in a much more humane way than we've seen in years past.
Senator Alex Padilla, I thank you very much for being with us. Really appreciate your time.
Good to see you again.